Yo, 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 good morning. What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing on this fantastic Thursday morning? It is December the 28th, 2023. We are about to see the year end. It is getting upon us. It is so very close, and yet Bitcoin is still very, very expensive. It's weird. Well, anyways, Ethereum here has been making a massive move. If you can look over here on the weekly, I posted a thing on Twitter. The weekly candle is not closed yet, so technically that's not divergence. This thing has to close higher than this close here in order for that to be divergence, but we'll see if it does or not. I do have a small short position on just to mess around with Futures Pro on weeks. This is the Futures Pro thing. I've never traded on this side of the platform. I'm always over here on the Coin M. So I put a couple $100 over here, and you can see that I've already lost one or two trades, and just messing around with ETH, trying to see if I can catch that little hot spot. See if it can make a little bit of money here this morning. Let's go pull this back up there, and we'll just stay on trading view for now, and we'll monitor the situation and keep you informed. We're waiting for the bell to open this morning. Right now, here's the positions I got on. Remember, this is just a hedge. It's a hedge in case it goes to the downside, because this is a sold put. I don't even know I put on this position. After doing the math, it's only going to be like 18 bucks profitable, because if this hedge expires worthless, then the max amount that I'll be able to make on that sold put would be $18. So it's kind of a dumb play, but we'll see how that ends up working out as well. Dollar spiking a little bit here this morning on the beginning. Let's go ahead and pull this baby over here. So you can see we got the dollar spiking here, and ES is trading a little bit lower today. It's hardly not moved. Let's go check what the expected move is for the S&P 500. Today is the 28th. Let's refresh this, because the 28th should be here. That's not going to be an accurate depiction. Well, anyways, it says $16. So let's go look what the SPX. We're just barely at under $3. So it's still got a little bit of room to go to the downside if it wants, as it has been very bullish. Got a couple little pops yesterday, but didn't really do much. Did trade above the expected range high. I don't think that we have made it to the expected weekly high yet. No, the expected weekly high is still sitting up there. And we're not going to open up on the day as of right now. We're going to open down 4 points. So we'll open 4 points lower than we closed yesterday on the SPX. But yeah, just chilling. We got Bitcoin right here. A lot of stuff you got on the charts. But I was watching this level yesterday as it was trading back up for a potential short, but it never allowed me to take the entry, because, if you look right here, you can see it closed above. And then right here, I was watching, this was around the time when the market opened, and we got that close above. Anytime I get a close above a major level that I'm watching for potential short or long entries, then obviously if it's a short, I don't take it. And it's a good thing I didn't, because look what happened. So always allow for that hourly close. Don't ever feel like you're going to, or freak out or think that you're going to miss a trade. There's always a trade to take. Always, always, always a trade to take. Euro USD long still holding in there pretty good. Got a little bit of a pullback happening. Here's the long. We took the long down here. Boop. And it's trading up. So right on with that. And then on the USD JPY short, that thing is still holding in there. It's pulling back pretty nicely at this point. So this is going to be from dollar weakness. Dollar has absolutely pulled back. And if you remember this right here, nasty breakdown, that's what we were looking for. But then it automatically got bought back up. And then once it got up into here, we knew that this was going to be a trap. So we were bullish on the dollar, but for no reason at all, this thing come crashing right back down. So we're back down at the original yearly lows. And in fact, we've already taken it out. Now, this is the yearly low, but these were the original yearly lows before that monthly push down in there. That was the July candle. We'll go look at the monthly. I'll show you what I'm talking about. It's right here. This big push lower, but then it closed above support here. And then once we took out the high of that candle, we pretty much knew or had a good, we were looking for shorts on Euro USD from there on out. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, this thing just plummeted to the downside. I would probably chalk this up to the yield curve inversion. It was starting to fix itself, but then it went back to being inverted. Right there. See that? So it was trading up, or not trading, but it was moving up to correct itself, the inversion. But then we got 2 months of downside. And if you look at the dollar and the risk assets going higher, I would assume that's probably what caused the dollar to drop, because that's exactly what it looks like. I mean, the DXY looks almost identical to that right there. Right? You got 3 months up and then boom, 2 down. So we're currently trading under monthly support on the DXY. So yeah, if we lose this level, the next area to look for would be this low right here. And that low comes in at 99,578. What the hell just happened up there? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? I just lost my connection to weeks. It's not good. I got to open position, bruh. Open short position, bruh. Not want to lose that. I got to keep my eyes on that. What are you trying to do? Trying to take me out? Trying to take me out? All right, what's up, everybody? How's everybody doing on this fantastic day? I hope you guys had a very merry Christmas. Morning, tradies. Morning, good morning. Everybody's not talking. Good morning, baby. Nobody's talking this morning. All right, so Tesla had a nice little day yesterday. Let's go pull that up, see where it's at this morning. We're gapping higher. We were looking for a retest of 257.22 for potential bullish entries. We didn't quite get it. It almost got down there, but it happened so fast. So fast, like within 5 minutes, it was down there and up. See, here's your open. You had a little bit of a wick down and then straight up. And then for the rest of the day, it just traded sideways. Gapping above that this morning. Let's go look at the rest of the Magnificent Seven. See how they are looking. Gapping up on Apple. Apple's a potential buy this morning. I'm going to show you why. Because it pulled back into support. Boom, boom. And then yesterday it closed above. The actual time to take this trade yesterday would have been once you got back above, you were open. Then you could have put on a bullish call spread. Yeah, I got IWM, COP, and ADM. I believe they're all puts. That's a put. That's a put. And that's a put. Yeah, a lot of puts there. So we'll see how that plays out this morning. Probably not going to be very good by the looks of things. Let's go check out the IWM. We could probably still put on a bullish Apple position. Oh, yeah, the IWM's gapping down. Nice. That's what we want. We want this thing to gap down, pull back a little bit. Down here to 196, we can exit that position. I hope everybody got what they wanted for Christmas. If you wanted something, I hope you got it. I just got up a little while ago, so Ethereum spiking on the 5 minute before the open. Let's go back over there. Let's go back over there because we got a trade on over there. Very heavily leveraged, but it's a little bit of money, right? It's just a little bit of money. Just to play around with it because, like I said, I've done most of the trading on this platform on weeks on the regular CoinM side of the futures platform. I've never tried the Futures Pro. I'm not seeing much difference between the two, to be honest with you. But we know that Donald Trump is exiting with quite a bit of money. I think at the last point I saw, I think he was up to like 3 million he had sold based on the NFT tokens that he had minted, and now he's moving that Ethereum to Coinbase and selling it. Probably to pay for court fees and such. I mean, it's not like he needs the money, but you never know, right? You never know how somebody's doing. But yeah, that's a pretty healthy spike there. Let's go over here to the daily time frame. You can see yesterday, massive bullish day, right? Just massive. It was up 7% at one point on the day, while Bitcoin was barely trading up. I mean, it had an up day, but it wasn't a big up day. So this is the reason why we're bouncing, is because we're trading down at the open. So we got a little bit lower than the open, and then we bounced. Now, this is not normally this wouldn't be a trade that I would take in a normal situation. Like I said, I'm just joking around here a little bit, just playing to see if this ends up becoming an exit liquidity or what. But yeah, fresh yearly highs was taken out this morning, and then we're back down at the open, but it doesn't look like it. It looks like it's actually going to hold in. That's a big 5 minute candle, bro. Bruh. I'm trying to get rich here, bruh. Trying to buy a Lambo, dog. Doing the wrong thing. All right, market's open. Let's go see how much money we're losing. Nah, we're not losing. We're winning. We're winning on all fronts except the hedge, which is okay. A hedge is, you're not supposed to win on a hedge. That's the whole point. I took the short on COP based on oil. And this we were looking at in Tuesday's stream. Let me go back over here to positions. As I do have Ethereum pulled up over here, so I can monitor it. See that? See that? Fancy, huh? Fancy. Yeah. Got that ultra wide up there. I can have either 3 monitors or 2. I prefer 2. So I got 5 monitors. I can keep an eye on stuff. Nothing can get away from me no more. Let me get these charts up over here on my left monitor. Yeah, based on oil, let's go look at it. And we'll look at the ADM trade as well. So basically we had this pulled down here. Obvious downtrend. Under the 50. Everything we like when we're looking for shorts. It had a little bit of a bounce. We were wanting this to hold as resistance, and it has. So yesterday around the close, I put on the short, or just bought a put. It's not really, I mean, it is a short, but it's not like I'm short shares. I just bought a put, and we'll see how that trade actually plays out. But I'm looking for this to come back down and test potentially 69.51. So just a few dollars there is what I'm looking for on that. We come over here and pull up ConocoPhillips. ConocoPhillips is an oil company. It doesn't trade 1-for-1 with oil, but oil has been down, so you can see that it doesn't trade 1-for-1 with oil. If I pull up oil's been down pretty good. ConocoPhillips will go down a little bit though if oil continues to trade lower. So I put on, and then the IWM was just for a pullback, just to see if this thing's gonna pull back. I mean, here's Fed day. This thing's up. If we go from, let's go from that candle open, because that was the Fed day. This thing is up 9% since the Fed spoke. Like, come on. That's insane. So we're just looking for a day like we had over here. Something like that. Take a little bit of profits, close position down. What's that? What's that? 1 day, 1 minute chat for NQ. Oh, NQ's breaking back above. Or no, it's breaking down actually. S&P 500 pulling up to the VWAP intraday. There's your VWAP and breaking out of the upper edge of the EDS band, which is similar to a Bollinger Band, but not quite. It's just similar. And NASDAQ is breaking down. But if you look over here, this is the NQ chart, the actual futures. You're still green on the day. And then down here is going to be your ES futures or the S&P 500. It's the MES, so it's the micro contract, but it doesn't matter. They're identical. The micro is the exact same thing as the ES futures. So, yeah, there's that. NASDAQ is just making highs, 17,165, but I think the all-time high is 17,300 and something. No, it says it's 16 something. That's wrong, though. That's not adjusted for contracts. Day 3 year. Okay. Yeah, I mean, according to this thing, it's blasted through its all-time high. Anyways, we want to see a pullback here. But the ADM trade, like I said, I took the AI trade off yesterday because it didn't do what I was expecting it to do. It's still a viable trade as you are still above the 50 here. It was a profitable trade, but it wasn't as profitable as I wanted. Why is this so? Oh, I don't remember. I got this money flow indicator up. That's global net liquidity. It's moving higher. I was just going to see if this indicator is worth its weight in salt or not. That typically, if this thing's going up, then asset prices should be going up as well. But I don't know if it's accurate or whatnot, so that's why. That's why that thing's so thick. But yeah, that's that. And TLT had a nice big bullish move yesterday. I was thinking about buying it when it was testing this level, but it's just so overbought on the daily. It makes it difficult, and it's definitely printing a bearish divergence. But it's not overbought on the weekly yet. You still got plenty of room to go before you're overbought on the weekly. But yeah, the TLT trade has been the trade. Hopefully you guys have been able to capitalize on that. At least some of you. Because I told you to buy this thing when it was down here. I even had a guy on Twitter be like, why would you buy the TLT? It is bearish. Oh, you guys crack me up over there on Twitter. All right, let's get serious here for a second. All right, let me check, see if the few ledges have spoken. Have the few ledges spoken this morning? BTCM is the stock. What is the stock? What is this? Bit Mining Limited? Yeah, it looks like crap. Ugh. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know if I'd be trading this. I mean, I guess as long as it's above $5, you can trade it, but yeah, it looks awful. It's a split there, so I mean, if you look at where it is to where it has been, not really some. I mean, the earnings is just all screwed up. I don't know if I'd be trading this, Bob. If you are, be very careful. I mean, it's not super volatile. This day right here, the whole entire day is $1.50, and that's a pretty volatile day. But I mean, depending on how many shares you own, obviously will determine whether or not you make money or lose money on the position. But that's just trading. We never know if we're gonna make money or lose money when we take a trade. That's that's the glory and beauty of trading. Profitability comes from managing your risk, obviously. I'm not sure, baby. All right. Oil smoked my call was a small one, anyways. Yeah, yeah. Oil dropped. Oil broke back down. It's got a little bit of a pop this morning, but yeah, it broke back down. We were watching this old daily support level right here on oil. Might get a bounce here though. This is definitely the bottom of the channel, but I was looking for a short if it got up to here. We were watching this level though, right here, and then we closed the daily above it. So anytime that happens, we gotta chill. But yeah, you could have gotten short once it got back under it. If you go to the hourly time frame, like look at that craziness. That was yesterday. And then it was bullish, but it just traded right up back up to old hourly support and fell again. And then closed back under. So you had 3 hours here you could have taken a short or bought a put, right? Because that's the level that we were looking for it to stall out at. But like I said, you're at the bottom of the channel now. So if it's going to be bullish, if it's going to continue with this uptrend, there's your channel. It should bounce from here and then end up hitting roughly around $77 if it continues to go up. We don't know what it's going to do. It's still bearish on the daily though. I gotta get rid of that indicator because it's absolutely driving me crazy. There, that's better. Yeah, that is much better. Yeah, you got daily support right here as well. So let's see how today closes. Does it close under the support? If it does, then we'll look for retests and we'll look for shorts. Like I said, you can either trade oil or you can trade one of the many oil stocks out there. I know there are a bunch of them. We got the 30-year up a little bit this morning. We got the 20-year up a little bit, and the 10 years up, 5 years up, 2 years up. Just barely. Here's the 2-year T-note futures. Getting long this thing was the trade, man. Look at that. Boom. I was trying to get long it via a stock, but the only one that I could find was Shy, this thing, and it wouldn't allow me. It said I could only close trades. I couldn't open new ones on it, which was weird. So I don't know what was up with that, but I tried many times to get buy calls on it. But it wouldn't allow me to do so. But this still, I think this trade still has a lot of legs on it, because once the printer does go burr, as suggested, this thing should fly. This thing should fly, right? Even if stocks go down, this should go up. All right, so now we got Mr. Ethereum heading in our direction. Heading back in our direction, I should say. To the downside there. Exit liquidity. Exit liquidity. All the people that were buying this up. You don't do that, man. It's not the time to be a buyer. You be a buyer when you're oversold, not overbought. My young Padawans, you will learn. You shall learn how to do this and do it correctly. Yeah, that entry was a terrible one. I got short right here at 2396. It's different on the platform though. What is it? It's too far away. I can't see it. 2398.73. So what's up, traders? How's everybody doing? Can you take a quick look at Hut and PCAR? Yeah. Absolutely. That's what we're here for. We're here to find trades. Gapping down this morning. It's been moving to the upside a little bit there, but you had a split recently. That's usually never a good thing. It's a good thing if the stock is climbing, right? And it gets to an expensive level. So the company decides to split it to make it more accessible to, normies to be able to get involved, because depending on how expensive a stock is, some people, some people won't even invest in it. But that's one reason for a split. They make it cheaper, but whenever something's going down and they split, it's not good. Not good. But it is having a little bit of a pop here recently. Would I buy this? No. No, you're overbought. You're massively overbought. And you don't want to buy things that are overbought. You want to wait for a pullback. Last area of resistance was here. So around 1193-ish. If you pull back to that area and it access support, which it did here and here, then you could buy it again potentially, right? But you don't want to buy it up here as it's already made its move and people will be taking profits. I don't know what this is. I have no idea what Hut 8 Corp is. So, yeah, that's that. And then you said PCAR. PCAR. Now this looks much better. Yeah, much better. It's at all-time highs. Same scenario. You gotta wait for a pullback. Massive, well, it's not massive bearish divergence. There actually isn't any. Yeah, there was a little bit of bearish divergence with this close and this close. That is a higher close. So it's pulled back and then it looks like you're losing bullish momentum, even though price is going up. The oscillator is telling a different story. So just be careful. Watch 95.75 and then as low as 94.72 for potential bullish entries. We got NASDAQ still pulling back. It's actually red on the day. It's trading right at its open. S&P still green on the day with a high of 48.41, spot 50. SPX open up higher. Uh-oh. That ADM trade's not working out. Let's go see why. Why are you not working? All right, so if we get a closure above 72.65, I'll close the position down. All right. At the end of the day, if we're trading above 72.65, I'll close it for a loss, but it's all right. It's all good. IWM's doing the same thing. Got a little island top reversal up there if it works out. Also bearish divergence. Just looking for a pullback. That's it. Just a small little pullback. And get us in the money there and we'll get out of that one. COP. Yeah, as long as it stays under 118.68, I'll be happy with that one as well. But ADM is not participating to the downside. I don't know what this is. Archer Daniels Midland. I have no idea. It just popped up on a scan to watch for shorts. Yeah, you can see it had a nice move to the downside. So I'm just expecting that to continue. But it may not, right? It may not. It might be done. It might be done. I don't know. We'll see. I can't see into the future. All I can do is manage how much money I lose on these things. What's up, Brian? Good morning, my friend. Where can you trade futures in the U.S.? Right here, baby. Right here. Weeks. You can trade USDT or you can trade with Bitcoin. It's up to you. And then on the Futures Pro is the same thing, which it's USDT. They don't allow USDC. So if you have USDC, you need to convert it to USDT. I have a link in the description. If you use that link, it will save you 20% on all trading fees, whether you trade spot, margin, or futures. 20% you will save on all fees if you use that link, which is something nice because, you know, when I had another company in there, they didn't do really anything for my viewers at all. So that I thought that was pretty cool for Weeks to be like, we're going to give your viewers and your viewers only 20% discount on trading fees, which is pretty damn cool. You should take advantage of it. Smash the link and then just make it. You know, there's no KYC, so all you gotta do is just make an email address, make a password, and then put some Bitcoin over there or put some Tether over there, and you're in like Flynn. Good question. Can you please check XRP? XRP Army in the house. XRP Army in the house. That's not the right damn thing. No. Excuse me while I figure my brain out this morning. XRP, yeah, it's been pulling back, so it looks like it's holding pretty decent. This is an outlier event, so I would revert back to the lower or this support here, as it seems to be the one that's holding. So as long as you're holding 0.66042, you can look for potential buying opportunities there, right? But you know, these things generally follow Bitcoin, so this one hasn't. I mean, it did get a nice big spike on the day that, you know, the announcement was made when they were in litigation, but that was sold all the way back off. All right, so this rally is going to be joined at the hip based on the fact that alts are rallying and Bitcoin is rallying, right? But as long as it holds 60.42, that could be a place to look to be a buyer. If you close dailies under that, then I probably would wait until it finds a support. But this does look like it could potentially be a rounding bottom. But you're making lower highs, and that's the one part that kind of makes me a little bit nervous about it, right? Because we know Bitcoin is massively overbought. We are expecting a Bitcoin pullback soon. I was expecting it a lot sooner than this. As I put out a video, I don't know, a few weeks ago, talking about it being massively overbought on the weekly time frame. So I was looking for a pullback. But it's just been trading sideways since I put that video out. But I mean, there is opportunities inside of that sideways trading. If you want to be a trader, if you want to be a buyer and a holder, you need to wait a little bit because we don't know what this thing's going to do on the first. See, last year when I bought it, or this year, we bought it on Jan 1. But there were so many indicators telling us to buy it. It was oversold on the weekly. That's a check in the buy column. It was in the buy zone on the MVRVZ score, which is an indicator. It was right in the buy area on that. I mean, there were several things saying to be a buyer. As of right now, you don't want to be a buyer like now, right? You wanted to be a buyer down there. Now you're all the way up here. Is it possible for it to open up and then rock and roll? Yeah, I mean, it is. But we got to wait for the first of the year to happen, and then we got to see how it trades once we get there, right? And then that'll tell us what's up. And it probably won't, it doesn't always tell us right off the bat what it's going to do, right? So here's 2022's open, right? But it was in the midst of already a pretty sizable downtrend. So we were assuming that we were going to be bearish for 2022. And we were. We made a lot of money that year. So we go back to here. We bought it. And we made a lot of money this year. Bitcoin is just, it's been one of those things that, yeah, it has these moments where it just trades sideways and doesn't do anything. But when it does, which is lovely. Here's your chart. I mean, let's get rid of all this stuff. So here you go, right? Like this, if just pretend this year is like this year here. That's what I was expecting to happen. That's why 35K was my target. I had a target of $35,000 for 2023. Obviously, we exceeded that target because we're trading above 35K, but that was my target. And then I was looking for it to pull back, and then we have a fresh yearly open, maybe, pull back a little bit lower, and then rock and roll. So if we get anything, because this is a halving year, right there's the halving, or it's in April is when the halving is. But it's over here, right? So we just need this thing to pull back a little bit, pull back, and then get in this area here, then potentially buy it again for a potential bull market after the halving. But we don't know that it's going to be a bull market after the halving. It just has every single time in its lifetime. Every single time Bitcoin has had a halving, it has also had a massive bull market to follow. I sound tired? Yeah, I am pretty tired. Yeah, I was up late last night. Have I traded futures on Coinbase yet? No, I have not. I did not know they offered it. Huh. Can you short it? Can you short the futures on Coinbase? If that's a fact, then that's pretty cool. KO short. Yes. Wow. That, why wouldn't be a bull market after that? I don't have an answer for that. Like, I'm not saying that it's not going to. I'm just saying we don't know, right? We don't know. Past performance is not indicative of future results ever on any asset. Ever, ever. Big spike down on ETH, but it's already been wicked up. It needs to go back down. You playing games like that? I still am a little bit tired. I just got up a little while ago, that's why. But I'll wake up. So yeah, let's see if this thing goes back down. I should probably go ahead and take some profits. I mean, it is a small amount of money, but still. I don't like to lose money. So let's do this on stream so you can see how this is done here. Get in there. Thank you. All right, so here's take profits. Yeah, I understand. Wait, what price? 236 236747. Let's see if we can get filled there. 2367. Let's just put that in there. And we'll do 75%. Confirm, confirm. I understand. And we need to get a stop in there, don't we? 239083. 100%. Confirm. I understand. There. That's it. Simple as that. That's how you take profit and set a stop better than break even. So once you do get triggered, you make realized P&L, which will show up here. It'll show it in yen, but you can also make it show it in USDT as well. There's just a button you got to toggle from yen to USDT, but yeah. So there's that. Now we can leave that alone, as we don't have to no longer worry about it. Good stuff. All right. But it is having a bit of a problem getting back down there. The FOMOers are real. They FOMO into everything. The exit liquidity for Donald Trump. One thing that they haven't fixed yet. All right, that is cool. You can, never mind. So on the futures pro side of that platform, you can move it down. That's cool. You can just grab it and move it around. If it spikes up much further, it's going to take me out of the trade. It'll be for a profit, but I would much rather have taken the profits down here on the spike. I just didn't have it set up yet, which is such is life. Could you check out a zero? Let me go look at KO first. Coca-Cola. I don't know, Bob. Let's see here. It's above the 50. Yeah, maybe. Maybe, but I would say if you close above this daily candle, then no. All right. So as long as you stay closing under 59.02, you could potentially short it. You do have support down around the $58 area based on those three moving averages, but I mean, yeah, it does look like it's trying to break down. And year to date, it is bearish. So here's your yearly opening range. Right there's your yearly open. So yeah, Coca-Cola is a good stock to own, though. It ain't going nowhere. You know what I mean? These are the type of stocks that you want to just own. You got a lot of money. It doesn't move fast, so it's not super volatile. It's a slow moving stock. So yeah. But watch 59.02. If you close above that, I would forget about shorting it. It actually, I mean, if it continues on the trend that it has been on, like if you look at it like this, the oscillator has cycled from oversold to overbought and then came back and closed under the 50 there, but you're back above it. It almost looks like it's trying to make another run to overbought. And since everything else is bullish in the world almost right now, at least the S&P 500 anyways. But if the S&P 500 pulls back, I do believe you could get a nice little move down on Coke. Maybe around 56, but just watch that $59 area, bud. Should hold. If it doesn't, leave it alone. Good morning, Janet's thoughts. I'm still not buying the rate cuts. The dot plot has 20 dots versus 12 Fed voters. I think we're in for a rough ride whenever the market has to reprice the bonds again. I don't know. I mean, if the Fed says they're going to cut, they're going to cut. And also, next year's a voting year, right? Next year's a voting year. So politicians will be, probably putting a lot of pressure on the Fed to cut, right? To make it seem as if though he single-handedly beat inflation to help him run again as for a second term. But I mean, it is what it is. They probably shouldn't cut unless they know something we don't also. But the market's pricing in cuts, and the market is rarely wrong. Rarely is it wrong. But at the rate at which the cuts happen is going to be a signal. If it's nice and slow and methodical and inflation is continuing to drop and everything is working as it should and jobs are still right where they should be, then I don't see any reason why you would be bearish. Now, if they start cutting very aggressively, very quickly, then I would start getting situated for bearish trades, longer dated. Like I would put in those quarterly hedges to the downside to catch any significant downside moves. But hedges, like I said, are to be put on at a cost. That's the cost of doing business in this world. You don't look at it as a way to make money. However, if it does work out that way and your hedges work, then you will get paid big time if you do have a bear market. But as long as they cut nice and easy, 25 here, 25 there, I don't think it's going to be super bearish. The bond market's gonna rebound, man. That's where everybody's money is. Everybody's money is in bonds. Bonds are the safe asset. 60-40. That's a 60-40 portfolio. 60% of the portfolio is in bonds, and the other 40% is in stocks, equities. Baba, yeah, I would be very cautious about trading Chinese stocks right now, as they're not doing so good. Uh, this to me looks bearish. You're getting a pop now, but I would be looking at as this as a selling event. What's weak usually stays weak, and what is strong usually stays strong, right? I mean, just look at that. It got hammered. Your bounces from support are getting less steep, like they're shallower and shallower and shallower. So it does look like it's gonna probably have another little bit of a down move. I don't know how much lower it can go as the company does make money. It's just, if you can't trade the country, you trade their biggest stocks, right? That's generally how it goes. But yeah, I mean, if you want to buy it because it's cheap and you think that it's going to come back, then it is cheap. It is cheaper than it was, right? But I mean, if you're looking at it as a selling opportunity, I would find that resistance level and see if it holds. So far, all of these resistances have failed to hold. So I would watch this level right there first. If it fails there, then you could look for that short side entry. But it may want to retest the 21 again on the weekly, and if that's the case, then you can get as high as 81.50 on Alibaba. And they were gonna split this company up into 5 pieces. I don't remember or recollect seeing if they have done that yet, but that could definitely affect the stock as well. If it's already happened, then okay. I don't know if it has, but I do know that they were talking about it. Um, can I show you that Run Mountains? Can I show that picture that you sent me? Make sure all your pertinent information that you don't want out is blocked. I don't see any info that could harm you, but if I could show that picture, that'd be awesome. Yeah, I did not know Coinbase had, I didn't know. Yeah, I can. Okay, perfect. I didn't know that Coinbase had futures, and there they are, right there. So, yeah, there you go. It looks like, I mean, it looks like you can trade futures on Coinbase. I haven't seen that, but I'm rarely on Coinbase. You know what I mean? I use Coinbase essentially to cash out, but yeah, that's I'm gonna look into that for sure. As that would definitely be, pretty damn good for Americans. It doesn't make no sense to me to be a long only platform, right? Because you have to be able to hedge your risk. People that don't believe in hedging Bitcoin, they're just wrong. I mean, they're objectively wrong. You have to be able to hedge your money, right? Always, no matter what asset class you're in. That's the whole reason why they brought options out on stocks, right? It's so that way you can own the asset. And then if ever you think there's some tailwinds coming, you can buy a put, right? It's for downside protection. That's the same thing that futures provides, downside protection. As the majority of the Bitcoin that I own now, I got in the bear market of 2022 simply because I was not only hedged, but I had on huge bearish positions. And then I just transfer the Bitcoin profits over back to cold storage. But you still need to be able to protect yourself in these ups and downs. Bitcoin still looks good on the weekly, in my opinion. I mean, this looks like it's a bull flag, but it's just never happened like this before. Usually, this overbought spike comes before, like way before the halving. So if you go back to last time it happened before the halving, you got your overbought spike here. And then a 40% correction. Well, it's more than 40% because of the pandemic. But if you take the pandemic away, if you like block that out, then it, shoot. Here, let me see something. Where is, oh, there you are. There you are. So, like, if you just mark this as like the lows and just delete all this as if it didn't happen, right? It did happen, and we know it happened, but it was an outlying event, okay? It probably would have just came down to there in a normal circumstance, and then it would have ran up, and then this is your halving here. But this is, this happened. You had your peak in June, so halfway through the year. This time we didn't get to the overbought section. Well, and to be fair, we did hit overbought once in April. My opinion is all this move is just in expectations of the ETF or the, you know what I mean? The ETF approval. So, I mean, there's nothing that says that Bitcoin can't remain at these prices until the halving. It's just not likely. I see a more likely scenario of something like this, right? And then it goes, boom, after. That's the more likely scenario, in my opinion. And that's based on past price action. Every time in Bitcoin's history, after the halving is when it has a big, huge bullish cycle. It's just this time is different based on interest rates, based on inflation, and a lot of other things. A lot of other things. But we'll see if it happens again. And we will be positioned for it. But as of right now, it looks good on the weekly. Uh-oh. What's going on here? Pulling right into that 21. Has it already retested it the other day? We may break down below it. But that was the reason for the bounce yesterday. If support holds, I mean, if you're looking to be a buyer, that's also an area where you could look to be a buyer. But I wouldn't be looking to be a long-term holder at this price. On the daily, it's almost cycled back all the way to the 50, which is good, which means, there could be some more upside from here. It's just on the weekly is why I'm concerned. Like you're still massively overbought on the week. You don't want to be overbought. You would rather be in this area here, like right around the 50. So that way you have plenty of room to have that massive move back to the upside. There's just not as much hype around this having as there were last time. Last time there was a lot of hype around that. A lot. This time, not so much. I mean, this time, not so much. But we'll see how it plays out. For sure. I mean, we'll be still doing it. We'll still be trading it. But it's testing daily support right now. It already tested it. It tested it last hour. So my take profit was hit. So we made $100. Not bad. Not bad. But yeah, I'm not dreamer. I wasn't suggesting that there won't be a bull market after the halving. I wasn't suggesting that at all. I mean, that's what we've been waiting for. That's why we've been, talking all year about Bitcoin so much, is because we know that the halving is next year. And that has always been a huge catalyst for Bitcoin in the past. Oh, you were invited, started taking trades yesterday. Okay, I see there. So you have to probably send them an invite and then whether or not they allow you to do so. That's cool. Leverage longs preset at a little over 3x, shorts just over 2x. That ain't bad still though, right? Because think about it. All these other exchanges that offer maximum leverage, like that short I have on right now is a 75x, but that's just like I said, I'm playing around with it. You pay a lot of money for those fees to go leverage or to go short that high of leverage. It costs a lot. So going leverage 2x for on a short position, that's perfect. That's all you need to protect your downside risks. Because that's double. It's still good. ADM is still not working out. COP's up a little bit. And now IWM is down a little bit. So as we were up on all those positions earlier when the bell opened, or when the market opened, we are now down on two of them. And that is why right there. You cannot stop this market. It is just insane. In all my years of trading, I don't think I have ever seen a time where we had a bull market like this, like that fast. Like the S&P 500 is up 26% on the year. That is insane. The average year on the S&P is anywhere between 8 and 12%. That's just crazy. Crazy to think that we've just massive moved to the upside. But like I said before, if this thing starts to fix itself, we may see it roll back over again. It's having a small little move to the upside today, but if this starts to get aggressive and start to move back to the upside, we may see stocks pull back. May see stocks pull back, which is why I'm looking for shorts right now. Everything is so massively overbought. It just seems like a normal thing to do. Put on a bearish put spread or something like that, which is what I have on. It's a put spread. I mean, that's straight up. I mean, that is as straight up as you can get. That is parabolic up. Absolute insanity. And it just gets steeper and freaking steeper. That's insanity, right? But this is good for the overall market. Don't make no mistake. I mean, this is what we wanted to see for the rest of us that are like investors. Also, I'm not just a trader. I also hold a long only portfolio. I definitely want to see the market moving higher, but I didn't like the fact that Russell and all the other stocks were in terrible shape. Right? That wasn't good. Like you want to see them all. You want to see the entire market rising, not just 7 stocks. And this morning we have 73 advancing stocks in the S&P 100. So the 100 biggest stocks in the S&P right here, you got 74 of them advancing and 27 declining. If we were to look at the S&P 500, you got 351 advancing, 148 declining. That's good, right? That's good. So if you were to look at it as a heat map instead, it would look like that. Green. Here's your S&P 500. This whole block here. And it's, mostly green. It's not bright green like Charter, but it's green. Like over here, you got some that are really bright green. Those babies, when it gets bright green, that's when everything is just bullish. And that's what you want to see for overall market health. But yeah, putting on a put here and there, it's not a bad idea to just go ahead and for potential losses. And you can see it's a $4 wide spread there. What did I pay for it? Well, I paid $1.61. So there's a potential there. And a $4 wide spread, I can make up the $4 minus the premium paid. So at $3.39, I think, is the total amount of profit that I can make. But that was more for a trade. Like I said, I was just looking for it to pull back. And the ADM trade still could work out. It might not be today. It might be tomorrow or the next day, right? That's why I go out. I don't do it for this week. So the IWM position is all the way out here, 50 days. There it is. All right. 50 days out. The COP trade, where is it? Right in front of earnings, 36 days out. This is so I don't lose a lot of money on theta decay. Because no matter what, if you're in the money or not, you will still lose premium based on theta decay. It will still happen. This trade, this position, say this thing stays at 119 for 36 days, I will not make $3.90. It'll probably be closer to $2.50 or even less than that potentially. You see what I'm saying? That's theta decay. So the further out you go, obviously, the better off you are. And then on this one, it's near term because I have to stay in front of earnings. I don't ever trade around earnings because the implied volatility is more expensive. And it's very volatile. I mean, I'm sure you guys have seen stocks. I mean, just look at Nvidia, for instance, right? If you'd have been selling puts or selling calls during that, or even holding puts, you lost all your money. But I still like this as long as we're not closing the daily above 72.65. If we close above that, I will close that position down today. Or if it gets to $60. $60. Something wrong with this picture here. I have 50 watchers and we have 50 watchers and 14 likes. Yeah, that'd be appreciated. Very much so. But, it is what it is. I generally don't tell people to do it because if they want to like it, they can. If they don't want to, they don't have to. But thank you. I appreciate you very much. This trade I closed because, as you can see yesterday, this was a breakout. This is when I took the entry here, 27.75. That's when I bought the call. It just did not give me that explosive move to the upside like I wanted to see. So yesterday on the pullback, I closed that trade out. And I do still think AI is going to potentially go higher because of the moving average structure. It's not doing it in the manner I wished to see it done, right? So I closed this trade out yesterday too. Probably should have left it open, seeing how it closed bullish on the day. But you're trading as an inside day, which isn't really good. You had 3 down trending days, and you had 2 trending up days, and now you're an inside. So that's not great. And I wasn't playing it because it's AI. I was playing it because there was a setup here, right? It was retesting the 50 right there, that's the day I bought it. I bought it right near the close. Right at the close almost. I got filled. Boom. Put the order in, got filled. That's a trade that I will take every single time. They don't always work, but it is a trade I will take every single time because they work more often than they don't. And there's still a lot of buzz around AI, surrounding AI. I mean, it's all over the place. It's all you hear about, Bloomberg and such. I know this, not necessarily this company, but this company had a setup. I would trade Netflix or Nvidia or AMD or any of them if given the setup. But most of them are just straight up. There's not much of a setup. Yeah, not much of a setup. And they're still so massively overbought. It's crazy. Yeah, here's that earnings gap up. $300 all the way up to 380. That is crazy. Markets they're looking a little sluggish. They're up. I mean, NASDAQ is unchanged on the day. S&P 500 is up barely. Probably not going to be a lot of action this week as a lot of traders are still off. Most traders, they turn their stuff off for the full 2 weeks, right? They usually don't trade on the holidays, but Monday after the first, whenever the first, this year, the first is going to be on a Monday. So you're not going to be able to trade until the second. Even the Forex market will be closed on the first. The only market that'll be open on the first will be Bitcoin or crypto. But everything shuts down. And then after that, though, they'll be back in the saddle again. Back in the saddle again. But I like to watch I was watching the markets on Christmas Day. That's just how I am. I guess you could say I'm addicted. But there was a setup. Bitcoin provided a little short setup, and I took it. And it was a nice Christmas. It's always nice when you can make money on Christmas. Because usually you spent a lot of money on Christmas, whether it be for the dinner or whatnot. We had a delicious roast beast. It was a beautiful rib roast. And it was so good. Melt in your mouth. Are you thinking of buying a Q1 low on Bitcoin? Or are you potentially looking at buying the yearly open again? Yeah, about that. If we were lower, then my answer to that question would be yes. But since we're so overbought on the weekly time frame, my answer is no. I am looking to potentially buy Q1's low. That would be nice. Yeah. If we could get a pullback on Bitcoin, I absolutely am going to buy. Well, I don't necessarily buy it, right? I trade it. But I'll open a position, a long position. I have a decent amount of Bitcoin. And since you can trade it and make more Bitcoin, like I said, I mainly trade the coin M futures. So I transfer Bitcoin from my cold storage wallet over to Weeks. And then I use Weeks' coin M margin to essentially make more Bitcoin. So yeah, you don't have to buy it anymore. If you can trade profitably, you don't have to buy Bitcoin anymore. You just get long with Bitcoin. It's a fabulous product. Fabulous. I think the last time I bought Bitcoin was in 2019, 2020. I bought right before the pandemic. I bought Bitcoin like literally right before the pandemic and watched 50% of my money evaporate. But then I bought a little bit more. So, I mean, but like I said, in 2022 bear market, I held a huge short position for the majority of the way down. And that just made more and more and more Bitcoin. Then I took all the Bitcoin I accumulated off of the trading exchange, right? I took it off and put it in cold storage because it was a substantial amount. And then this year when we hit 35K, I sold 2/3 of that position, or 1/3, sorry, 1/3 of that position because it was big. And, you got to pay the bills. But I still own a substantial amount, way more than I could have ever bought. Or would have ever bought. Remember, I am very, very, very much on the side of cautious when it comes to markets. I don't like to lose money. So I try to minimize the risk as much as possible. I'm always going to lose. That you can't be 100% victorious, but as long as you make sure those losers are small, when you nail those big winners, that's all it takes to be profitable. You lose small, win big. That's the goal. But yeah, I missed the majority of all of this stuff. However, I didn't miss it because I owned some of them, but I'm saying as far as I was telling people to buy back then, right? When the market was severely oversold. When I can remember telling people to buy Netflix because just the simple fact is it was down almost 80%. I'm like, this is going to go up. It is going to. It is not going to continue to go lower. It's going to go higher. As long as inflation goes down, these things are going to go up. And you can go back and watch the videos around June 2022. I was telling people to buy this stuff. All of it. All your favorite tech stocks, I said. Buy, buy, buy. You want to buy it, you need to buy it now. Look at Amazon. Just boom, yearly open. All of them are massively up from the yearly open. Well, that's the hourly. We're not going to see that on that. Look at that. I mean, it's straight up. Now, I didn't suspect that would happen, obviously. But I mean, still. Nope, people wait until now to buy. They don't want to buy something that's going down. And it's the complete opposite mindset you need to have in order to be successful in this business. Now is not the time to be buying these assets. Now is the time to be, potentially looking for, buying hedges if you are long these. Like there's people in here that's been long on Tesla since, like, I got one person that was long in this area in here, 170. They got long. Now they're up $100 on that position. That's good. That's good stuff. Yeah. I mean, we were going to trade this thing and we just didn't. I was waiting until the end of the day to put on a position, and I wish I would have just put it on then. I wish I'd have just put it on then. But we missed that one. That's all right. We won't miss the next one. Oh, Apple. Let's see if we can build a call spread on Apple. That's cheap. It doesn't look like we're going to be able to because because the skew is inverted. This shouldn't be going lower. It should be going higher. But you can't build it all the way out here, right? Like, this would be the ideal place to be a buyer. Buy this strike and then sell this strike. But you're probably not going to get to 225. The implied volatility says that you'll be lucky to get to $200 in 29 days. $200 is right there. I think you could get to 200 in 29 days. You could get there in one day if you have one really good day. But yeah, let's see if we can get it down a little bit, and then we'll probably get a call on Apple. We might just buy the call. I don't think it was that expensive. It's not too bad. These are $5 wide strikes too. Oh yeah, that's terrible skew. Terrible. You're buying a 20 vol and selling an 18 vol. That's not good. It should be the opposite. Should be the opposite. Like if we bought the cis, we could buy that one maybe and sell that one. it still puts you way out. But I mean, you're paying 38 cents for a potential to make 462. That ain't bad. I'm gonna go ahead and send that baby off. That's not bad. I think it can get there. Where do we need it to go? Oh, 215. Yeah, I don't think it can do that. Let's cancel that. I don't think it can do that, but it's got a low enough implied volatility to just buy the call 190 strike if you can risk the $695. The best way to do that, if you have a small account you can't day trade, is to wait until the end of the day. Buy it, and then if you have a big gap down or whatever, you're just going to suffer. But that is really the best way to do it, or the easiest way to manage risk. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's from a windy UK. It's probably cold too, huh? Any sign of hidden bullish div on Bitcoin weekly or 3-day? Hidden bullish div on Bitcoin? There's bearish or almost bearish div, isn't there? And you said on the weekly or 3-day. I don't see it. I don't see it. I guess you would have it if this will close above this close. You'll have it. But I mean, you're overbought. So I wouldn't be looking for hidden bullish divergence when there's there's not a bearish divergence either. You need a higher close on the weekly to be bearish divergence. You don't have a bearish divergence, but at the same time, you're massively overbought. And anytime you get massively overbought on the weekly, it's not necessarily the time to look to be a buyer. It doesn't mean it can't continue to go up. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just simply saying I would probably wait for a pullback before I'd look to be a buyer. This weekly is an inside week. And it doesn't look bad on the daily either. So, I mean, if you want to buy it, just buy it based on support. You have a support here that's held for 1-2 days. And then you made a higher close there. So watch that support. If it closes back above it, then potentially you could look to buy it tomorrow, on an hourly retest or whatever. You're also coming into the 50 on the daily. You're at the 21 exponential. So, I mean, there are several reasons that you could potentially buy it here. But the majority of your thinking needs to be on that. It's overbought on the weekly aspect. But yeah, I mean, it does look like it's being accumulated. I mean, you got rounding bottom there, rounding bottom there. That is essentially what is called a cup and handle. Where's it at? It's this one. right there. And then let's turn the magnet off. Right there. That's a cup and handle. So, I mean, that's a bullish signal unless you break down below it, but cup, handle. Generally those are bullish patterns, but I mean, it just, does it hold support or does it not? That's the question you got to ask yourself. And if it does hold, then that's where you look to be a buyer. Just got on. Have you covered Tesla yet? Yeah, we have. We missed the trade on Tesla. We missed it. You're testing quarterly res right now, so I don't think I'd be a buyer. That's the highest closing quarterly candle. You last quarter you opened above, but you closed under. So you have not been able to close above 265.25. So it's hard to buy it right there. But if you can pull back to around 257 and hold, maybe then you could be a buyer. And then if you pull all the way back down to here, 246, you could be a buyer. But if you lose this area here and drop back down into this, I don't know if I would want to be a buyer then or not. The structure looks good. Your moving averages have, broken back out to the upside. So yeah, I mean, it's a buy the dip formation. You just got to wait for the dip. One down day, in my opinion, is probably not enough. Not up here. Right? Not up here. There's also a daily resistance right there. And that's right where you opened today. You see that? You opened right on that daily res. That's the highest daily close into that quarterly res. Opened there, tested the quarterly, and down you went. It's just profit taking is all. If you get a big nasty candle, then that'd be different. But as long as it stays like this, it's okay. You would be looking for watching the last breakout area. And this is the last breakout area here. So you'd be looking to be a buyer around 257 on a retest of it. But it's got to hold also on a closing basis. So you would, like, if you drop down here and you trade under it for the majority of the day, you want to wait until like the last 5 minutes to see, does it get back above it? And if it does appear like it's going to close above, then you take the entry. Whether you're buying stock or if you're buying calls, however you're going to play it long, you wait for the close. The close will tell you the majority of what it's looking like, what it's going to do. I might buy the weekly 34 EMA at 34 EMA. Real volume come in New York. I don't know what you're talking about on Bitcoin. What's a 34 EMA? I've never heard anybody use a 34 before. That's weird. Huh. Yeah, that's a new one for me. Never heard of that. But yeah, I mean, it's testing the 21 right now. All right, you guys, if that's it we're going to wrap it up. The positions that I'm still holding, let's close this up so we can see real quick. We got COP. We're holding a put on COP. We're holding a put on ADM. I sold the put here, so that's a bullish position. And this one that's losing is a hedge. It's a hedge. So, but it does look like I'm going to have to close the hedge down. The problem with closing the hedge down is if we take a nasty dump, then what little bit of profit I have on that long put or short put will be erased. That's where the hedge would come into play, but we'll see. But as of right now, the ADM position is not working out, and the IWM position is not working out. But they may end up working out later. The IWM is struggling at resistance, which is a good sign. I'd love to see it continue to struggle there. As long as we're not closing above that today, I will hold that position. If we close above 204.82 today, I will take the position off at the close. And the same goes for ADM. I'm currently watching 72.65, a closure above that. Or like if it's trading above that 5 minutes to the close, I will close that position as well. These are other potentials. JP Morgan, this thing, man, it needs a pullback, right? But it just isn't. It just isn't. It isn't pulling back. But that is just an insane move. Insane. Just straight up. And that's what's got the XLF straight up. Amgen, I'm going to get this off because this was a long down here. We were watching this as support. We were going to get long, but the spread on the options was too bad. But it ended up working out. That would have been a beautiful trade. ANF, I don't know why I have Abercrombie and Fitch on there. It's just, it needs a pullback as well, but maybe buy the dip. If it gets back down to $83, we might buy a call spread on it. That's why it's up there. Obviously, always keep an eye on oil. It's breaking back down. Want to see that continue. LMT, this was a long trade. Same scenario. Unfortunately, the options are too spready. So, not going to be able to trade this one either. But all of these are what I'm watching. MSTR, just a massive move yesterday. That's a short squeeze because Bitcoin did not move up like that yesterday. And that's the same thing that happened tomorrow. It's just a short squeeze. Stocks are different. Stocks are different. Massive short squeeze right here. I would not be looking to buy Mara. If anything, I'd probably be looking for puts on Mara, but I wouldn't, or selling calls would probably be the better route to take on Mara. And the reason is because of this right here. This implied volatility is insane. You're almost at a 200 implied volatility. So if you buy the option, you're going to be paying a hefty premium. That is way too expensive. So what one could do on Mara is you could simply sell a $40 call and get $3.40 for it. You know what I mean? So let's do that. Let's see if we can sell that baby for $3.50. No, let's go in sooner. Let's go out 2 days. Jesus, even that. Wow. Yeah, I take that all day long. Yeah, we'll sell that baby right there. Collect that. As long as it stays under, what was it, $40? As long as it stays under $40 in 12 days, we'll make the full $239 or 236. We'll make the full credit on that. It's just a blow off. It's a short squeeze. $40 is all the way up here. That's a pretty safe trade, right? The delta's too high though. You'd be better off selling a 46 strike. Get that delta low. The reason I did this one is because there's a lot of other people that thought the same. This is just too much. Whenever the implied volatility, I mean, I'm literally selling a 235% implied volatility. Yes, I'll take that. 15 days away. Now, I'll monitor it closely, obviously. But definitely, this thing is cooked. Cooked. I mean, you're cooked on the daily and the weekly. 2 week is getting there as well. Now, if Bitcoin has an explosive move to the upside, you're damn right I'll be closing that position down. But this looks good. It looks good. But don't ever buy an option over a 50 implied vol, please. If the implied volatility is above 50, do not buy it. You can put a spread on, but don't just buy an individual call or a put because you're just paying implied volatility. And just as soon as that stock goes sideways for 4 or 5 days, that implied volatility is going to drop down into the 40s and the 30s. And then you're going to lose a ton of premium just on that fact alone. So be very, very careful when you're trading options. Do the right things. Yeah, and it only takes $800 worth of buying power to sell that call. So we'll see how it plays out. But yeah, if Bitcoin rolls over, then that call will pay us. But it doesn't look like Bitcoin is wanting to roll over. It's only down 2% on the day. But we'll see if it does. If it does, that call will be a great trade. You guys have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll see you next year. Thank you all so much for your time. I appreciate it. Make sure you guys trade safe, trade smart, and as always, happy trading, everybody.